Hey, this is Bull Belutsky. Welcome to Meadowbrook Homestead. Today I'm going to be talking about our mudroom makeover, why we needed to do it, and how we went about it. So we live in lower Vermont, and this place does get a lot of rain and a lot of snow. So one of the things that makes this house functional is the mudroom. It's a place where we can drop off all of our cold, wet and muddy clothes and transition into the house without bringing all of that in here. When we bought the house in 2012, the mudroom did not really serve a good function or purpose. It was a mudroom by design, but there was no real access to the outdoors. So in order to use it, you'd have to come through the main garage doors, walk up a little stairs into the mudroom, and then you could transition into the house. That seemed incapable for what we wanted to do, especially since we do like being out in the elements and do like tromping through the snow, and so it just didn't serve the right purpose. So the first thing we had to do was create an opportunity for us to transition in and out of the outdoors from the mudroom itself. It was a little bit difficult because the mudroom sits about 3 feet off of the grade. So there was no door leading out. We had to put a door and then also build a deck onto the top so that we could then build stairs so we could transition in and out of the house. We chose a French double door because we didn't know what types of things were going to be transitioning in and out through that door, so it made sense for us to have a big enough portal for us to get in and out. The other thing that we needed to do was have a door through the garage to access the outdoors from the garage, which all leads into the mudroom itself. So we had to put a standard exterior door on the garage so that we didn't need to hit the garage door, the automatic garage door opener every time we wanted to go outdoors from the garage. So it led into our mudroom reconfiguration. Now in the mudroom itself, there was nothing. It was just flat out floors and walls. So when we're looking at what we needed to have in there, closet space, a bench, and place for storage for all of our outdoor wear, and also our snowmobiling equipment, because we do snowmobile and we have a lot of that equipment, helmets and snowsuits and those types of things. So we needed closet space, a place to sit, and also some storage, some other additional storage cabinets. In addition to all of that, we also, at the time, had 2 large Labradors, a yellow lab and a chocolate lab. And we wanted to build a little place for them to have for their own beds and a place where we could keep their food and their water that didn't have to put additional requirements in the inside of our house. Now, I want you to understand the mudroom is heated, so it is just like part of the rest of the property, the house, and so there wasn't a need for us to have additional heat or HVAC put into the mudroom itself. I designed the mudroom on a piece of paper and then put together a parts and equipment and materials list, and then went to town. I get the majority of my tools and my materials from Home Depot, which gives me a 10% military discount, so it was great. I was getting a lot of those materials on the cheap at the time. Obviously, over the course of the last few years, building materials have gone sky high, through the roof. So I'm looking for different ways of getting those types of building materials, because there are more projects in the future that is going to require me to have access to a ton of, let's just say, inexpensive materials. So Donna did get veto authority over everything that I built. So she looks at my hastily drawn plans on a piece of paper and decides if that's going to suit the need or fit the requirements. And if not, we talk about what else we need to add or subtract from that. So we needed lighting, we needed cabinets, we needed seating, we needed storage, and we needed a place for the dogs. So having that in mind, with the limited floor space in there, the design came about fairly quickly. The build process took just a couple of days. I was in transition between going home on family emergencies, home to Hawaii on family emergencies and coming back. So in between those trips, I would plan to do my project. And this project actually only took a couple of days. So first thing, of course, you run out, you get all your materials, you stage them, then you start building using your plan. And like I said, after a couple of days, the mudroom was made over, and we could absolutely use it in the intent and purpose of a mudroom. And to this day, it is one of our, of course, it's our most accessible room, because going in and out, we use the mudroom. The dog goes in and out, and it's the place where we can contain all of the messes and everything without having to pull dirt, mud, snow, rain into the house. So a lot of the requirement was to make this place look rustic, look like Vermont. And so the building materials had to be cedar. Everything in here, for the most part, is cedar, with the exception of the bench and the framing. And then everything needed to have lighting. So all of these are LED lights. Of course, doing all of the wiring and getting everything put in had to be done prior. There needed to be multiple areas where we could have electrical plugs. So those electrical plugs are in this area over here, so we could plug in what we needed to charge our helmets and charge the batteries for heated socks or whatever. So those over here. In each one of these closets, there are also lights for so you could be able to see everything that you've stuffed in there during the course of the year. Of course, there are his and hers closets where each one's lighted, so you can find what you need to find and, go ahead and take care of that. In addition to the closets for snowsuits, for jackets, and for work clothes, I wanted to put some below the closet drawer space. For gloves, some hats, and any of the other things that we use, scarves that are required for cold weather. So once again, his and hers. And then on this side, we've got additional storage for the dog items. And here we have our dog food and additional dog paraphernalia. So this is where we keep the dog food. And of course, below is where we have our dog sleeping area. So this is the dog bunk. Like I said, we used to have 2 large Labradors, and they used to just sleep. Both of them had a bed below here. Since we moved here, and over the course of the last few years, they have left us. They are no longer here, but we do have a young Shiba Inu who has moved into their spot and has kind of commandeered the dog area. So another thing that we built into here was additional storage space above all the closets. It's a 7-inch cubby that we put things like snowshoes, ski poles, and skis if we need to put them up there. And then if you notice over here on this other side, we have yet another storage area where there are snowmobile helmets. So I fit my 4 snowmobile helmets up there. There's boots up there. There's storage area throughout this mudroom. It is now fully functional, It has an access to the front. So now we can come in and out of this door and shake the snow off or the rain or the mud in here before we transition into the main house. And finally, this is where we keep our brooms and our vacuum cleaners and a lot of the cleaning implements and supplies in this closet. Well, thanks for viewing. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe with the bell notification so that you'll get notified whenever we have new or updated content. So thank you for viewing. Appreciate it so much. See you later.